Hey everybody, what's up? If you are around, jump on and join me for a few minutes as I share this really awesome, powerful topic about you are not who you think you are. You're actually who you think others think you are. So it isn't, I know you all have heard and maybe have read about the imposter syndrome or feeling like a fraud, but it goes even deeper than that. This is that you're not even really you. So it's at a deep level, you feel really disconnected. And where this comes from is at a young age, we start to learn that conformity is just what's acceptable, that this is what gets us rewarded, this is what gets us punished. And of course, we all love to be rewarded and accepted and feel like we belong. And so you start to become this person over time that isn't actually who you are. You develop a personality and a way of being that doesn't at some core level resonate with the true you. And what happens when you start to awaken is you feel this dissonance, the sense of I'm not really myself. Like when I'm saying these things to these people, I sound different when I'm saying this to some other people. I worry about what I look like and how people will perceive me and the kind of house I live in and the neighborhood and all this garbage that we build up around ourselves so that we keep ourselves kind of in a little bit of a shell and operating almost like a robot, like having to do certain things and dress certain ways and say certain things and be careful what we say and make sure we don't offend anyone and make sure this is politically correct and all that garbage, all because our biggest fear is judgment and rejection and criticism. And it doesn't stop. I mean, I have students in my university classes in 18, 19, 20, and I have clients in their 30s and 40s. And this is a theme that spreads throughout life, this discontent, not discontent, this discomfort or fear around really being themselves and this feeling of it's not safe to be themselves. But the fact that you're aware of it is awesome because that's when you can start to make the changes and remove all the layers of indoctrination and reprogram yourself to come back to who you truly are, to see what you truly desire, and to think about who are you if no one told you who you are. Think about that. If you remove all the layers of family and friends and colleagues, all the education, religious institution, media, and you were in just a bubble and you didn't have anyone telling you anything about what to wear and what to say and the kind of education you had to get and the kind of people you had to date, the kind of friends you had to have, the kind of education that you had to pursue, the kind of career that was socially acceptable. If all of that dropped away and you went back to that place before any of that happened, perhaps you had some moments when you were a child where you were completely free to be yourself. Who is that person? And the other way to connect back with this is if you have ever done any travel on your own, especially to a country outside of your own country, then you'll start to glimpse that true you. Because when you're traveling by yourself, which I have done quite a bit of travel on my own, outside of the US from multiple different countries and lived in different countries that weren't my own, where I didn't have friends or family, and seeing what emerges when you are in that place where there's nothing around you to remind you of who you are based on your upbringing, your education, your language, traditions and norms and culture. It's an opportunity for you to emerge as the true you and to let that start to take precedence over the you thought you had to be or the you thought you should be, and allow yourself unadulterated, unapologetic self-expression, to share your unfiltered truth, to walk in your own poise and grace and presence with confidence, knowing you accept you, you value you validate you approve of yourself. And that's the most important thing there is, really, because that's where that attraction comes from, and that sense of power that people sense in you, and that sense of presence that you carry when you walk into a room. It's not what you're wearing, it's not your education, it's not your career, it's not your friends. It's that sense of truth and who you are and what you're here to do, and that conviction and what you're about and what you stand for, and knowing no matter what happens, that's who you are. You won't conform. You won't put yourself into a box. You'll stop putting up the shell. You'll stop thinking about what others think and really share what is true for you. And when you do that, the amazing thing is everything in your life changes. The types of people you spend time with, because you don't spend time with people who want you to be a certain way and only want you to follow certain beliefs and values that they follow. You no longer have those fake conversations. You no longer think about what you wear for certain situations. You wear what feels authentic and true for you. And the same with your career. You pursue the path that is your path, that you can live with, and that is no one else around has anything to do with. And when you do that, all the anxiety, all the depression, all the distraction, all the addictions, all this garbage that we use to keep ourselves disconnected from ourselves because we don't feel we have permission to fully be ourselves, all of that crap goes away. And that is the most beautiful feeling in the world, to have that freedom to truly be you no matter what, and to watch how incredibly different your life is in that space and how incredibly powerful you are in that space, because you're no longer hiding and you're no longer thinking about what I have to say and what I have to wear and how I have to look. You're no longer censoring yourself. You're no longer changing who you are for the situation or the people. You're you everywhere, all the time, with everyone, no matter what. And that is truly not only the most incredible freedom, the most incredible feeling of power, and the most incredible feeling of unapologetic self-expression. So if you are in a place where you are just living this life that you feel like it's not really my life, I don't know whose life this is life I thought I was supposed to live, but you're feeling really discontent and just maybe discouraged and frustrated, and maybe have wrestling with some anxiety about what the next steps are and feeling confused about what's even possible for you, what that looks like, please reach out to me, because my mission is to guide my clients on honestly the greatest adventure of their lives, back to themselves, to their full potential, to their authentic power, to their unapologetic self-expression, to live a life that truly is their own, with freedom and prosperity and joy. So that sounds like you. I will put a link in the comments and you can reach out to me and we can book a call. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts. Who are you? Who would you be if no one told you who you were? Put that in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And that's also something you can journal about and meditate on, and to let that image surface, the feelings, the emotions, the pictures, the actions you would be taking as that person, the people you would spend time with, the conversations you'd be having, the adventures you'd be on. Who is that person? And really start to fill it in with all the details and make it real. And then when you get out of meditation or finish with your journaling, when you get up as that person, take an action as that person, start to change your beliefs as the person who believes what that person believes, the person who is who they truly are, and watch how your life absolutely changes for the better. All right, friends, talk to you soon.